Pennies Going in Raw is a production of iHeartRadio. The opinions expressed in the following podcast are for general informational purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual or on any specific security or investment product. It is only intended to provide education and entertainment about the financial industry and the stock market. Enjoy!
On this episode of Pennies Going in Raw, we go over some DD on some stocks, talk about the Christmas run-up, and new positions.
You find out life's this game of pennies.
Oh, you guys know we only have a 40% runner. Hello, 40% is a fucking killing.
We've been compliant for too long. It's time we go to war.
I don't have a Roth.
Hugh knows so much about the market that his brain doesn't have enough room for grammar.
Hey, who told me about IDEX? It's going up a shit ton now.
Rob, 4%, baby. No way. 4 fucking percent.
You asked the exact same question with 2 words different.
It's like, man, I just got dick whipped for like 20%, and now that f***er's up like 50.
I bet Warren Buffett never did that.
I'm just making this voice memo to call out unusual whales to a fight.
The pennies we need are everywhere around us.
Pennies.
Going in Raw.
Featuring Dan, Deity Dips, and Hugh Honey.
Produced by Vinny.
And Christian.
Let's go, baby.
Welcome back to another episode of Pennies Going in Raw. Today is Wednesday, December the 15th, and you wanted to talk about our calendar. We mentioned it before. We do have a retail day trader calendar coming out with tricks and tips for each month, and also a P&L and how many trading days of the year are left. Kind of keep you up on all things trading, man. All things on the stock market. Just keep up. That can be your little trading journal. We just talked about it.
No, it's really cool. I think we're going to do a pre-sale. So we want to get these to everyone before the beginning of next year. Yeah. But the only thing is that we have to order them first. And, we don't want to under-order and over-order. So what we're going to do is that with this episode on Wednesday, we're going to do a discount. So we're going to do like a 40% discount. Like basically, like we truly think that this is going to be really cool and really helpful for everybody. Like Dan says, that there's going to be a P&L thing. There's also going to be like FOMC meetings, remind you of your taxes. There's going to be a Roth IRA contribution deadline on there. And then the part that I think is really cool is that also every month there's going to be quotes from different traders that, that we've had on the podcast. And even ones like Warren Buffett. So like January is May. It's the backside of the trade comes 10 times faster. And so it's just going to be like little reminders, stuff like that. We're really excited for this. We teamed up with Benzinga Pro and Iris for this. And we're excited. So like I said, though, is that we're going to do the pre-sale. It's going to be like 40% off. And that's to ensure that 1, we order enough, and 2, you get it before the new year. So if you want a calendar, if you're even thinking about the calendar, this will be the literal only deal on it. And this is the only way to ensure that you get it before January. I think we talked about it, 5 episodes ago, how important it is to journal and track your trades. This is how you can do it. Like I have a family calendar right now that I use for like my P&L and for my notes and stuff. And it just gets so cluttered that like I go back and read. I'm like, what the fuck is this? But this is something that like Dan and I will be using. And we're stoked about it. So look out for that. We're going to include it with this episode. Get the pre-sale. Just get the pre-sale. If you're even thinking about it, get the pre-sale, and then and you'll have it by the new year.
Yeah, buy it for your trading friends too. And you had a bad day today. I mean, hey, we'll just start it off with just being real. I had a good day because I was in the ALZN and it ran up. I did tell you about it around $2, and I guess. Yeah, and hit around 3:30 in the after hours. Has options too. Mainly just a phase 1 run up. But I mean, how are you feeling about your poor day trading decisions today?
See, that's the fucking frustrating thing is that most of the I lost like 91 today. most of that is from day trades. And it actually only comes down to really 2 day trades. Like of the 91, 75 came down to 2 day trades. And I get so damn frustrated when I'm like a little green on something and then it goes down on a day trade. And I'm like, you know what? Like I'm just gonna average down here. And then when it pops back, that's when I'm gonna sell it. And it never works out that way. Like it truthfully never works out that way. And I get so damn stubborn. You know, it's just fucking annoying. It's honestly like it's honestly just annoying. And the thing is that what I'm noticing is like in the past week, my day trading wins, are just about the same as my day trading losses. And I mean that shouldn't be like that. Which is annoying. It's fucking annoying. It's just really fucking annoying. Like a lot of this year feels like it's been one step forward, one step back for me. And I mean, like, listen, I'm having a great year. Like, if I do this every year for the rest of my life, I'll be
sitting
fine,
comfy.
I
Yeah,
guess. Yeah, I'll be. You know, I mean, I won't be driving. I won't be driving in Maybachs like Gary and Zach. But like I said, is that it's just I haven't been feeling like I've been trading that great. And maybe it's because we were so used to such a great market for the last 16 months that I got so used to that kind of like, everything goes up, stocks never go down. And honestly, like that's probably what it is. Like the second that we heard, offerings are good, buy the offering, that probably should have been like the tall tale moment that like this is top. Like this is the hottest the market will ever be. But really no complaints. I'm excited for where I'm finishing the end of the year. I'm actually so going to the beginning of most years I try and go cash. Like I try and just start fresh. But with the recent, I'll even call it a collapse of small caps, I've actually been starting in on new positions and deploying more capital, which is completely opposite of what I usually do. It might be fucking stupid. Like it might be stupid.
Why do you usually like to go cash at the end of the year?
I like to start fresh with stuff. I like, it's the end of the quarter, beginning of the new year. I like to start cash, and I like to just, kind of say this is where I'm at to start January 1 or whatever the first trading day is. And I don't know. It's like one of those like mental things. And that's because usually we have the Santa rally into the end of the year. So it's like, so I usually feel content with, selling up there because I'm like, okay, everything's up like 10%, like everything's had a nice little rally inside the past 3 weeks. This is perfect. Let me call it a day here and I'll start fresh, and this year it's actually different for me. I'm, like I said, I'm putting on new positions and stuff. And I actually think that we could see some kind of volume, some kind of liquidity similar to last year.
And do you think that liquidity can head into like the January, February for like an ultimate retail run again, like we saw last year?
Yeah, I don't necessarily know if it will be like last year where it was like 2 names took over the world. Because that was like 13
Unheard
Sigma.
Of,
yeah. I mean, that would be sick. Don't get me wrong. I mean, that would be super sick. But the chances of that, it comes down to statistical basic, statistics. And that would just be, I mean, that would be like 20 Sigma for it to happen 2 years in a row at the same time. So, but more what I'm looking at is that all these freaking small caps, even large caps, the big disconnect that we've seen, I wouldn't be shocked if those saw a really good bounce. Like, I mean, this ALZN, they you and I were talking about it at sub 2. You told me that like 188. It's trading at 230 as we were talking.
330.
I mean, that's holy fuck, yeah, 330. Like, that's insanity. I mean, that's doubled. So, or effectively almost doubled. So it's one of those things where like I don't think it'll take much. Like ALZN was trading once at 10. Like I had shares of ALZN at 10. And there's so many names like that. Like that's not uncommon for a lot of these small caps, especially the bios. I mean, they've gotten smoked. So I don't think that it'll take much for some of these to bounce back, especially if, like we talked about, SPY really becomes like kind of inside like a range and just becomes like this major chop for maybe really like a few months. and we see more volume coming to small caps, I mean, we could really see some bounce backs. I mean, ALZN 330, it still can double from here and not even be where it was. Like most of these RSIs are at 10, 15, 20. That's ridiculous. So I'm really excited. I think I know I'm going to eat my words for saying this, but I think we're at the point of like, how much lower can it go? And I know that's like, I know I'm going to eat my words.
I never say that and it turns out well.
I know. I know I'm going to eat my words saying that, but that's kind of how it feels, is that all these names are down. If it's down 70%, I'm okay with taking a starter, especially it comes down to what we talked about in the last episode. If I can find a catalyst and I can find like a timeline, and it kind of feels like if I'm buying this thing on the ask and it's physically moving the price up 3%, that means that sellers are exhausting. So then if sellers are exhausting, you just got shorts packed in there. I mean, you get a little bit of news, it can triple. And even if it triples, now listen, if you're this is the other side of this. If you're a bag holder of some of these, I mean, the thing could double or triple and it might only come close to your average. But if you can average down, and again, you can have that risk to reward and that systematic trading. I mean, I truly think like small caps could heat up hard, simply because, like I said, is that most of these have gotten destroyed. I was looking around today and I was just doing like a little scan and stuff. I mean, bios specifically have just gotten demolished. So I'm really excited going into basically I'm excited. I'm excited for the beginning of next year.
All right. Well, don't check your phone because Zach just responded to your P&L with a one-word tweet with loser.
He's nice. I like him.
It's all just to motivate, to make sure you get better every day. That's all he wants from us. So you did say you were kind of adding some positions, and they were mainly, these small caps that have been beaten down. Is there any certain in particular you want to kind of talk about and give some of your little DDs on?
Let me see. Basically, yeah. So I did add a few positions. The one position that I did add more of, so I added DATs and I added games specifically this week. So DATs, I have a 310 average. It closed at 306 today. That hit 52-week lows today. This thing hit 18. Guess how long ago? Just throw out a guess.
And what's it at right now?
It's at under 3. It closed at 306.
Holy shit. 2.5 weeks ago. Let's say 12. I'll stick with my 12 trading days.
Dude, okay, well, not that, but 2 months ago from today, it was trading at 17.
Oh, damn. That's crazy how the days just blend together. I could have swore DATS was only like 2 weeks ago, man.
But so this thing was trading at 17 and just hit a 52-week low. It's been straight down. They still, I haven't done like great DD on it yet. It's really just
a new IPO. It hadn't even been open 52 weeks, has it?
No, God, no. I mean, this thing was basically vertical from opening, and now it's just straight down. I even think the IPO was at $3 or something, and it hit 280 today. So it's below the IPO. So I like it here. I know that they have a desktop version coming out. Now listen, I'm not saying that DATS is going to be the next Facebook, but for a trade right here, I could see this thing going back to 5. Hell, I could see this thing going back to 10. I know for a fact that they have a desktop version coming out. I have an email into the company, and also I want to know like how many users they're at, because I mean Zach Morris alone probably bought in 50,000 users, right? I mean like probably alone bought 50,000 users. God, they should just give him equity, honestly. But so I like it here. I like it here. Like I said, I have a starter. If it gets down to 250, I'll really scale in. But right now, I'm fine with taking a starter here while I start to do DD on it. And then there's game. Also, DAT's market cap is 60 million. Like PGIR could buy that. with how much we make off this podcast.
Yeah, well, I may have to take out a loan.
But so Game, speaking of market caps, Game has a $44 million market cap. Okay. This thing hit 14 in August. I mean, this thing hit 14 in August. 20 days ago, like this is how wild the last like month has been for small cap. 20 days ago, it hit 550. So it's basically down 50% in less than 20 days. Actually closer to like really like 3 weeks. Well, I guess that's 20 days. But so then I was in them earlier and I sold them they popped to like 14 on good earnings reports. Their earnings reports alone have been killer. They also, I saw a Barstool ad with them. They did a Barstool ad. Like Dats has a Barstool ad. Yeah, am I saying that right? Yeah, Game. What the fuck am I? Wait, hang on, time out. I don't know how I'm getting these two.
Dats had Barstool.
Dats had Barstool. Sorry. Just adding to Dats. Dats had Barstool, but Game's revenue was up 130% last quarter. Okay. They also, like I said, their market cap's 44 million, and their full year 2021 revenue was 37 million. So basically, their revenue is their market cap. I feel like that gives pretty good risk reward. The other thing is that they're suing some of the other major players inside. They're suing some of the other major players inside this space. Okay, they also on November 30th got a price target of $7. That's more than 120% from here. So I really like that one as well. The other thing is that they have the CNBC like founder Tom Rogers as their chairman. I like it a lot here. Like I said, I think it's cheap, 44 million. Similar uplisting, and like I said, is that I'm going to continue to do DD. I have a starter on right here. I think it's underneath 3. Yeah. I have a starter on at like 292, and I mean, like what? If these things go to like $10 million market cap, like we'll just fucking buy them. We'll just
What are we gonna do with a fucking app that's like Snapchat and Twitter combined? What are we gonna do with that, dude?
I don't know. But at 10 million, we'd be stupid not to. We could do something with. I mean, or even like Game. Game. Fuck it. We'll do like a hostile PGIR takeover. We'll figure it out, brother. Like at 10 million. If they're doing 40 million in revenue, come on, we'll walk away with a few mil, right?
Yeah, we'll sell it to someone. We'll sell it again.
We'll sell. Like, listen. So that's why I like these risk rewards. Like I said, the technicals are lining up. These things have been getting killed. Like I've had a lot of cash on the sideline recently. I'm ready to make some money, baby. I haven't had like a 300% month on the portfolio in like a year and a half. Like I need one of those.
That does sound nice. I wouldn't mind. Okay, so I know we mentioned ALZN earlier, and we know it's running up, kind of do the phase 1 data. Phase 1's always kind of like almost a surefire shot kind of thing. Before we even, talked about it on here, you mentioned you had some worries about it, and you did your DD on it. I did mine. And by I did mine, I meant I looked at the price and was like, damn, okay, phase 1 data, I can do this. And I'm up 80% and you didn't buy it. So let's hear your DD, man.
Hey, that's a good one. I'm up 80% and you didn't buy it. Yeah. No, you're right. So the first thing is that, I'm always skeptical of bios. But again, they've gotten killed. So from like a trading perspective alone, most of these are probably not at bad levels, especially if, again, there's that timed catalyst with this one. There's a timed catalyst for ALZN, and it's down 85, 90%. Like that's pretty good risk to reward. Like that, I like that. That's good to risk to reward. I'm an idiot for not buying. I was waiting for sub 2 again, and I didn't get it. So now I almost bought it at 310 today.
Literally the day after I told you it started getting volume, and I was like, damn, I guess that's Hugh. I was like, I guess that's Hugh buying it. And
but like you said, is that before. So first off, I'm not going to comment on any of the sciencey shit because that would just be stupid of me.
Yeah, we know nothing about science.
Yeah, we know, like, literally, Miss Hogworth. No, that wasn't her name.
She get a fucking. She's founded the school Harry Potter went to.
But no, I was thinking of my Miss Watterson, my chemistry teacher sophomore year. If she heard me talking, like, I almost failed chemistry that year.
We're not asking you to read a periodic table, man.
Yeah, but I'm so let me start off. So ALZN, they released a 10Q yesterday, which would have been the 13th of December. And my biggest worry is the cash. Okay. So first off, it's good because, well, the good part is that they have cash. Okay. They have a lot more cash than what they did have. The bad part is that it's not a lot. Okay. They have about 13 million in cash. Now, from my experience, that's not really enough cash to make it through another clinical. Maybe it is, but in my experience, most clinicals cost upwards of more than 13 million. Okay. So that's one thing that I worry about, is that if the phase 1 is good, then they'll probably have to raise, unless they get some kind of investment to do the clinical, which I don't. Maybe they could, but that would be. I don't know if they have enough cash at the current burn rate for that to be feasible. The other thing that I read inside the 10Q, and sorry, give me one second. Get it. Here we go. So during the 6 months ended October 31st, net cash used in operating activities was 3.3 million. This consisted primarily of a net loss of 5.9 million, partially offset by non-cash charges of 2 million, and an increase in our net operating assets and liabilities of 600,000. The non-cash charges primarily consisted of stock-based compensation expense. The increase in our net operating assets and liabilities were due to an increase in accounts payable and accrued expenses, and decrease in prepaid expenses and other cash in other current assets. During the 6 months ended October 31st, net cash used in operating activities was 648,000. This consisted primarily of a net loss of 2.7 million, partially offset by non-cash charges of 1.2 million, and an increase in our net operating assets and liabilities of 812,000. The non-cash charges primarily consisted of stock-based compensation. That's the one part where I worry about it, because on one hand, hey, listen, it's really, this thing is really beat down. This thing opened IPO day like 30 or something crazy. And it's all the way down here to like 2 or 3. You've also gotten word from, like, I think it was Todd Alt tweeted, like, he has no intentions of selling it, and he has sold none. Don't quote me exactly, but I know that for a fact. He said, I haven't sold any. I'd have to file that, etc. So on one hand, it's super beat down. You have huge filers that say that they're going to hold this thing, or are holding this thing. And you have this potential for phase 1 good data. But like I said, is that the one thing that I worry about is that they have to raise. They're a bio, they're basically a startup. And so they'll have to dilute, especially because, like, again, it's a good thing that they're so beat up. If you're like Dano and you have an average that's really low, but the market cap's 260 million. So if they wanted to raise $40 million, they'd have to increase the flow a good amount of money. I mean, a good amount, 267 million is the market cap. If they wanted to raise 26 million, they'd have to dilute 10% of the company. So that's one of the things that I worry about. Again, though, the volume today was 56 million shares. So that would be, so the offering would basically be done in a day. So maybe it's one of those things where so much volume comes into this off good data that who cares if they raise? It's like AMC. AMC raised like $1 billion. It didn't do anything to the stock when they were raising. So maybe that's the other play in this. But that is the one thing that I worry about. But like I said, I think that it gives really good risk reward, especially if you're sub 3. especially running up into data. The thing that I would probably do is that as we get closer to that date or that timing, and even if it goes further, let's just say that this thing gets up to 4, cut half. Listen, I had some guy DM me that felt like he knew the science behind it and felt like it was a slam dunk. If I told him that, hey, I don't know, it's out of my lane. I don't know enough about it. So if I were playing it, I'd probably sell at least half before. But hey, if you know the science behind it, power to you, brother.
If it's a slam dunk, take the ball to the fucking hoop, baby.
Yeah, listen, at $200 million market cap, that's ridiculous. If truly they do have good phase 1 data and they continue to keep this ball rolling and they can keep the big thing is with all of these companies is the cash position. If they can keep their cash position okay and keep the ball rolling, I mean, they'll be a $5 billion company in a matter of years, truly in a matter of years. Like before Dan gets married, ALZN could be like a $5 billion company.
That's not saying much.
Now that is not. You could be married next year, brother. You could.
There'd have to be some very drastic changes in my life for that to happen, and mainly it would involve me meeting a girl that would put up with me for a while, and then also me deciding that I can be monogamous.
So I like the risk reward. I like the trade. The one thing is that I wouldn't hold a full position into data, even if I wouldn't hold a full position in data, but that goes with any bio. And yeah, I mean, let's see where it goes. It's been trading great. And I mean, who knows, on phase 1 data, again, this is one where it's been so beat down that who says that this can't hit 10 on phase 1? I mean, on good data. I mean, truthfully, like this could.
Yeah, and full transparency, like my average is like 199, 198. It just happened to be like kind of one of the talks of the town today, which is why we're mentioning it a little late. However, I did trim some solely because, hit above 3 is a 50% gain, and also I had options too. So I'm holding some of those into it, but yeah, no, we just
make good money on the options.
Yeah. The 250 ones for this month are up like 180%. Yeah, dude, if it would have stayed above 330, it's kind of like trickling around 3 right now. But, yeah, I was really hoping to just go buku after hours and I could wake up and be done for the week.
I'm looking at the chart and I'm such a dumbass. Like two was clearly bottom on this thing. And if this gets over 350, I mean, it looks like a clear path to 5, like from the chart. I mean,
can't say I didn't told you so, man.
God, what is happening? What is happening?
Okay, well, someone wanted us to talk about trading mobile a little bit. Obviously, a little difficult. You can't be just doing everything, and mainly, I think this is going to sound very obvious. It's mainly for just buying and selling. Hey, you see something finally cheap, you have your alarms, but you're not trying to day trade shit that just got out of a halt, I think that's the first thing. It's for trading when you're not at the computer, and you're gonna have to find out each different app. Like I prefer to trade on TD Ameritrade, even though most people prefer Thinkorswim. Same person, but it's all about preference. Like charting, I'll even have to use Webull for. So it's just like rotating them out, seeing which one's quicker. Because I mean, a lot of it is just coming down to just getting out those trades when you need to, when you're in the bathroom at work or hiding from your boss or whatever the case may be. Because in the stock market, news can happen anytime. After hours at 6:30, your stock gets the best news ever. It's running up, it's squeezing. You gotta sell some, and you're not always at the PC. What do you have any tips for mobile trading at all?
Yeah, the one thing that I'll say is that if you're a mobile trader, I mean, you truly have to stay in your lane. You have to find what works for you. I know there's some guys on the West Coast that email me, that DM me that they get to because they're on the West Coast, they get to trade from like 4 in the morning until 8 in the morning, and then they head to work. And so they only trade for those 4 hours, and they day trade, and then they're off to work. If you're on the East Coast, obviously you're probably at work when the market opens. Some of the guys, they try and trade inside the bathroom. I really think that's super dangerous. Because if you can't get to the bathroom that one day, I mean, you're fucked. I mean, listen, if you're going to day trade for 5 minutes in the bathroom, fine, whatever. But that would have to be some crazy. I mean, I think you'd be taking on some crazy risk to make any money because if you, I mean, that would be crazy. I mean, I'm just thinking about it.
I just like to use it. Just buying, adding to swings and scaling out of swings, I think is the best option for
by
it.
far. What I would say is that I would take, again, stay in your lane, stuff with similar to ALZN, stuff that is just completely bottomed. And maybe it's one of those things where like you add like 2% of your portfolio, and then if it's down another 5%, you just add 2%, and then on any green day above 5%, you sell some. Like basically just trading around the core of bottomed out stocks. That's what I've seen. Most guys that are mobile, most guys and girls that are mobile that work full time, is that's what they've had the most success with. Like I said, bottom stocks, trading around the core. Trading around the core. That's what I've seen with the most success. But if it's one of those things where like, yeah, you get an hour and a half break, sure, go for it. But the biggest thing is going to be not to force anything and to stay in your lane. Like once you create that systematic approach and once you create like that really high win strategy, just stick to that. Even if it's not big growth, anything is better than losing. Something is better than losing.
Yeah, I think you're right on with the trading around the core is definitely going to be the right way to mobile trade. I think just being able to like get those, get them out. Like if I saw like even while we're recording and I have my phone and I see something I'm in just hopped up 10%, I'm selling some on my phone. Real easy. And I think, just real simple segment on that. Just don't overdo it. Scale in, scale out. We love you guys, and we'll see you on Sunday. Peace.
Pennies Going in Raw is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.